Welcome to War Games, hosted by the sales genius Joe Ingram. If you're looking to win the sales battle, then you have joined the right team. In the War Games group, we devise strategies for sales, marketing, branding, mindset, and attitude. We enlist the assistance from the most successful producers across all industries. We then share their knowledge and techniques with you. Our single goal is to get you ready for your next sales opportunity. When it comes to crossing the minefield of sales, step in the footprints of those that have crossed before you. Now, prepare yourself for boot camp and beyond. It's time for the War Games to begin.
Are we playing a game?
Happy Wednesday, War Gamers. Joe Ingram, your host. Excited today. I've got a couple of VIPs, and Brian's joining us in a second. He just had to reboot his computer. But I want to first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our guest trainer today, Brandon T. Adams. I suggest you look him up. But before you do that, let's partake of some of his golden goodness, right? Brandon's a two-time Emmy Award-winning producer, TV host, media expert, which I like, right? He's an investor and advisor. He's the founder of Accelerant Media Group, which produces commercials, social media content, which we all need help with, right? And TV shows that inspire and motivate. Now, I mean, that's called positivity. We need more of it out there, and I'm excited to have Brandon on. But Brandon and his wife, right, are the founders of Rise and Record, which is an event that is all about sharing your story through video content and helping others get their message out. And I know he's got that a couple times throughout the year on this event. But I want you guys to look at that. I'm going to bring my, let's see, bring Netta onto the screen. She's here. Brian will come up. We're still holding Brandon back, right? Because I want you to hear a little bit about Brandon, and you'll know who it is that's going to be coming up and sharing with us about how to get your business built better and branded right with video. So here we go.
Hey, I'm Brandon T. Adams. I'm from Garnerville, Iowa, a small town that's literally surrounded by corn. When I was growing up, my dad had an ice business. That meant I actually sold ice for a living. In fact, I loved ice so much, when I got older, I invented a product called the Arctic Stick. I even tried to take it on Shark Tank. I got shut down. But I never gave up. So I went to the streets to try and raise money. And that's how I got into crowdfunding.
We have a crowdfunding expert here with us this morning, Brandon T. Adams,
founder of Keys to the Crowd.
First of all, how's the stick going?
It's good. You can get it on Amazon.
Creator of the Young Entrepreneur Convention.
And then one day, a TV producer came up to me and said, "Hey, can you help me raise money for my TV show?" And that's what I did. That show was Ambitious Adventures, which led to my wife and I crowdfunding our own show called Success in Your City, where we traveled the country to redefine what it means to be a success. Everything started off great.
You might want to check out a new series called Success in Your City.
Until we went dead broke. Our car got repoed. We nearly went bankrupt. And we were on the verge of getting a divorce.
Here goes nothing.
And even after all of that,
hundreds of people think I'm crazy.
I never gave up. We got to meet a lot of cool people along the way.
Brandon T. Adams, what's cracking?
To Brandon Adams. The kid's got confidence, he's got an attitude, he's getting it done, and he's taking big risks, and he's trying things.
I think when you're dealing with high-level professionals like Brandon, they see little things that you're not doing, but those little things can make a huge difference that have brought me to another level.
Now, Brandon Adams, anything that he puts on, he just has a knack for bringing together the most amazing group of people.
If you learn from Brandon T. Adams, you're going to have the ability to crush it in your business, just like I did.
If you're ever thinking about taking your business to the next level, I highly recommend you work with Brandon.
I realized I could achieve anything I set my mind to if I really wanted it, and that changed everything for me.
And today, I'm taking everything I learned, the successes and the failures, to remind you, if you have a dream, you should never give up on it.
Okay, I don't know about everybody else, but I'm completely pumped up after that, right? And if anything, that should tell you that Brandon T. Adams, there he is, the man, right? Knows how to make a video, because that right there was phenomenal. But and it's funny because we got friends of the show with Jeff Hoffman and Bradley. We're in that video as it comes in, and then you and I are introduced through who was it? Secret
Greg
Knot.
Reed.
Greg Reed.
Yeah.
Yes, it was funny. Greg just jumped on his phone when I was at the house one day, and he's like, "No, Brandon, get on Joe's show." And that's what he sent. He's like, "I put you in an Instagram
That's
group."
Greg.
I'm like,
Yeah.
"That is Greg so much." But so Brandon, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come in and share with the group War Games. I named it War Games because most people thought sales was a battle. And rather than try to redefine everything, I said, let's go with it and we'll sneak around, a little covert and teach you how sales is not necessarily a minefield, but we could actually get somebody to go through. Your specialty is video. What I like about your never give up was that how do you get to that point where you've lost everything and you still go one more? What that internal challenge, I think a lot of us have that underlying pain that we see or we feel that it could happen, and that will immobilize us. You went right to it and then through it. So that, to me, my own personal goal. So I tell everybody I do my own show because I get to ask the questions and I like to get the answers of the questions I have, as opposed to being just listening going, wait, why don't you ask them this? But what kind of guts, what kind of stomach did it take to say one more? Let's go one more.
Yeah.
Try one more thing.
It's a great question. And my whole life has been living on the never give up and live outside your comfort zone, because what I found is when you do that, that's when growth happens. And yes, in the moment, it might hurt, it might sting, it might be very uncomfortable. What I found is when you overcome that and get to the next step, it grows. And I'll give you a great example. I mean, I have multiple obstacles I had in my career, but when we were filming the show Success in Your City, and you saw in the clip there, my wife actually pushed me in the water, and that we were in that city, Austin, Texas, and we were filming, and I'm filming this show, and I was funding most of it. We put probably $500,000 into the show. And while doing the show, traveling the country, doing a full production, flying crews out, filming a different city, going to the next city, what happened is I'm running a business along the way, multiple businesses. I had basically hit the perfect storm for disaster, where one, I just got done with a big event in LA that actually didn't go well. I just had to buy out a business partner, and I had some other things going wrong in my business. And I was down to my last amount of credit on a credit card. Right. Like some people say they have their last dime. Well, I was negative like $3,000 or $4,000 in the bank account for 3 weeks. And my banker was emailing me every single day, said, "Hey, Brandon, we have these loans, we have this and that." And I didn't know what to do. Sitting in the hotel room for going on a month with my wife, we're eating ramen noodles, and she's in a very bad place, depressed. I feel like I'm a loser because I put us in the position. I said, we're going to go all in on this TV show that we didn't even know if people were going to watch. And literally sitting there wondering what the hell I'm going to do. And that's where really your mind goes. And what I found, when you're about to hit like your big success, it happens right beyond one of your darkest times. And there I was sitting in the hotel room on a computer wondering, what am I going to do next? And it was Valentine's Day. And I said, screw it. You know what? I'm going to take my fiance at the time, now wife, out to dinner on my last $118 in credit. And we went to tacos. We had a couple of margaritas. And it was the first time in a few months that I was kind of at peace with the whole situation. I really found faith and belief in a higher power. Well, right beyond that, and by the way, this was not fun, very heartache and frustration, anger, all these different things, because a lot of people thought I was successful, all this money and everything else, but I was going into kind of the down mode of an entrepreneur. So I felt like I was living a lie. Well, right beyond that time, a couple days later, I had one of my biggest deals go through that made me over $1 million. And it was like that, your success is just beyond your darkest time. And the whole point is you must never give up. And the obstacles happen for you and not against you. So now as an entrepreneur, as I go through different obstacles, I ask myself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to my advantage to get better? And what can be my competitive advantage here, not my loss? And so that's how I changed my mindset. And that's really the theme around never give up.
Wow. Okay. So I think what you said too is that you got to the realization of saying this is what it is, right? As opposed to I'm wishing it would be different or anything else. And then at that point in time, guess what? The universe lined up and said, "Hey, good, you're not blocking me. Let me take this in." So
it's funny how we get challenged as human beings when the universe is like they throw everything they can at you, and sometimes everything's going wrong, right? And in that moment, it's like, okay, I can't do anything, but I never wanted to quit because it's like, why give up now? And so I found some of your biggest wins will happen beyond that darkest time, and I had multiple other ones. Fast forward like 6 months, 8 months, 12 months. It was a full rocky road to get to the point of Emmys and the success. But it definitely was worth the journey. And now when I look back on it, all those things that happened for me. I learned so much. And I feel like it's given me this bulletproof vest and competitive advantage over my competition, because I don't know many people beyond my mentors who are very successful that have went through those kind of obstacles because they didn't push themselves far enough. And you look at whether you look at a Jeff Hoffman of Priceline.com or a Kevin Harrington of Shark Tank, or all these people that have built wealth and had success in their own way, they will tell you the stories, and I've heard them personally, of how they almost lost everything, or they had to file Chapter 11 or whatever it was, but that ultimately led to the big success. So if you're not pushing yourself enough, not cracking things up, you're not going to the next level. You really got to go out of your comfort zone.
yes, exactly. So let's see. I think this was Tom that put up there. No, that was that's Desmond.
The dawn.
Yes, right. Yeah. So he's grateful for that because Desmond owns his own business and is doing that every day. And it's every month you have to stop and go, is this the month I make it, or is this the month I have to really, really go, maybe we'll just eat the O's out of the SpaghettiOs. I can't afford the rest of the stuff. But no, so here's what I want to talk to you about, Brandon. This is what intrigued me the most when I started researching on you. For everybody else, if you look at the bottom, BrandonTAdams.com, go there and subscribe to his actual email list so that he can start sending you out the stuff that's going to help you to become successful. Because again, what I always tell you guys is that I can put the people here in front of you. It's up to you to reach out, connect, and make it an actual value proposition back and forth. So I want to say that I got a bunch of entrepreneurs out here that are watching that says, look, it's me. I gotta do this. I don't have the job, right? You can be an entrepreneur and an intrapreneur, right? So Netta being the intrapreneur, but being the entrepreneur, how can I utilize video? And do I grab my phone and look like an idiot first, right? Because I know that's what we all stop to say is, I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to do it. And again, it just drives a lot of people crazy to the point of inaction. So twofold, right? What do I do? And then what is the mindset needed to get into that space? Because I think that's where you rock over anybody else who's up here and getting it the right way to
look. And so I'm going to make it very simple. I'll give you just a brief background of how I even understood the power of video. I mean, that whole journey around the country, what we were doing is filming a high production. But I started with the phone. I mean, back when Facebook Live first became a thing, this was, I don't know, was it a decade ago? When I was doing live streams, Snapchats, live videos, consistently with my phone every single day, creating content, learning what worked and didn't work. I remember when Instagram first came out with stories. I remember all the different transitions over the how many years now. And I started playing with the system, saw what worked, did it work. And a lot of it was with my phone. When I started making more money, I started investing more money into video content. I've invested well over $1 million into video specifically. And so when we started doing our TV shows, what I found out as people are sharing their stories on camera, for one, it was very therapeutic for them and it helped them personally to express their thoughts on camera. But two, when we started publishing this content from our shows to different networks, but also putting out content just on social media, the success stories from them, we would always follow up and say, hey, okay, how's it helped you? What's it done? They would say people would reach out and they would say how much they could connect with that person because of the story, because they went through the same things, or they found they were relatable. But it ultimately led from them sharing their story on camera to them getting more business deals, getting more opportunities, growing their business. And so once I really understood that, not only from the people we worked with and filmed with, but also myself, I realized, okay, for one, share your story. 2, do it through video. And the easiest way to do it is with a phone. And so I got the iPhone. I'm a big Apple guy. If you have a phone with a camera on it and you have the social media apps on your phone, it's very simple. You never have to even go to your desktop. And so I'll just make it really simple. The platforms I mainly post on is Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Those are the 3 main platforms. I also will post to Twitter, YouTube, and then there's another platform that's really exciting right now that I'm getting involved with. It's called Lit, which is, stay tuned, that's going to blow up. Lit, it actually has to do with the blockchain as well. And so these social media platforms, putting out content is king. Looking at like Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, the main ones I'm posting to, they're just social media platforms with users. People that want to follow content, want to check out video content. People are more intrigued by videos. Now, the more you can share who you are, what you do, and your experiences in life, but also the value you provide to the world through video, the more likely you're going to gain followers, people that consume your content, but also they're going to build a like and trust with you. It's actually proven, us talking on camera right here, when people can see my eyes, it's proven they're more likely to trust you. How we found this out is we did our first ever filming of a TV show. For one whole episode, we wore shades the entire time. And a network said, don't ever do that again. Because when you wear shades, people can't see your eyes and you're seen as untrustworthy. Absolutely. So that's the one thing. Make sure that they can see your eyes. 2, there's communication that happens with your hands, facial expressions, body movement, gestures, sound of your voice. All these different things tie into building a connection with somebody, getting them to like you more, but also communicating what you're talking about. So that's another thing. Video does that, something that audio cannot do, text cannot do. So that's one. And then also the most powerful way to tell a story, sharing a message through a story, is through a video. So by doing that through video consistently, you're building like and trust. You're sharing a story, which becomes your brand, and people are getting to know you for what you do. So whatever your business is, share that. Not only share best tips, but share what you're doing. So for me, as I travel the country, I share when I'm in meetings with influential people doing deals. When I'm on stage, I will share that I'm on stage. Not only do I say I'm a speaker, but I'm showing it. When I'm filming, we're filming every single month with the crew. I'm showing people behind the scenes when they're filming, because seeing is believing. But also in between all that, I'm sharing my best advice and tips. And so I give. Gary Vee talks about however he puts it, but it's basically, he wrote a whole book on it. It's all about give everything you got, give all your value, and then eventually people come to you. So that's on the very simple way. And here's what I do to post daily video content. I create a video with my phone. I'm shooting vertically because Reels right now is very powerful, especially with TikTok and even adding like the subtitles and stuff. What I do is I shoot a video with my phone. I'm speaking to camera, and typically it'll be anywhere from like 30 to 60 seconds long. It could, here's who I am, here's what I'm talking about, and here's some best tips, and here's a call to action, which is share, follow, go to my website. I'll create that video. I will upload it to my Instagram. I will add some text. I'll post it. I will take the same text and I'll upload the same video to my LinkedIn, post it. I'll do the same thing for Facebook. And then if you want to keep adding on, you can do the same thing for the other ones. I'm about content is king. Now, transcription is powerful as well, too, because 85% of videos are watched with no sound. People are going to the bathroom, sitting in the doctor's office.
In the bathroom.
Yep. In the bathroom, watching the videos. And so one simple hack, if you don't have a professional editor or whatnot, you literally, I will take videos because I have my team that's editing, but I also post stuff myself. I will upload a video. I do this pretty much every day. I'll upload it as if it's a story on Instagram. I will press transcribe. It transcribes it almost flawlessly. I will download that video and then I'll post it to different platforms. And there you go. It's transcribed. Now, LinkedIn actually auto transcribes it for you now. So that makes it easier. But all I'm doing is I'm creating content that's providing value to the world. I'm creating one video a day, sometimes more, and I'm posting the same video to the different social media platforms, because the more people see it, it's a numbers game. It's like you're going to throw enough darts, eventually you hit the bullseye. Enough content out there, something's going to click. Something may go viral. We had a video, my wife and I did one here like 6 months ago. I wouldn't believe it. We did a video. It was so like off the cuff, random. and it got maybe 5 or 6 million views, and it got
Nice.
over 250,000 likes. And it was a random video that we did. And so again, you feed the system, the social media content, you're eventually going to get different things that go more than others, but you don't need 1 million views. If you have 50 views and they're the right views, it could lead to a deal. I have agency, we work with different influencers, and we do deals with people that have millions of followers, and that's great. And some of those audiences are great to connect to. But what I also know is if you have even 1,000 followers, and of those 1,000 followers, they're niche, they're people that know you, like you, they're raving fans. Those people could be maybe a wealthy audience that is likely to buy your higher end services. So at that point, you only need 10, 20, 30, 40 sales a year to build a multi-million-dollar business. And so I learned that a long time ago, and I realized I don't need hundreds of thousands or millions of followers. I need the right followers. And when you consistently share that content, add value to your audience, and then you have the right lead gen system to go to your newsletter, to your website, to your sales team, you can turn them into paying customers. And so that's my strategy, is on the simple side of posting regular video content on social media with my phone. I never leave my phone. I have all the apps on my phone, I have my camera roll, and I actually have 54,000 items on my phone between photos and videos over the years.
That is awesome. So I think it was Brian and I were on a mastermind call, and we had somebody who brought up and said, I use repurpose.io. And and that takes that one video and sends it to the other platforms. You have a media agency. So my question is, do you see that hurts in distribution?
So it's kind of like if you look like a not Lipson, Buzzsprout. There's another one out there that does this.
Hootsuite.
Hootsuite. My personal thought and perspective on this is I think it actually comes out spammy. I personally like to tweak the messaging a little bit and add, like, for example, like Instagram, I'm going to put some hashtags. LinkedIn, I'm going to put hashtags. Facebook, I might put one hashtag. But I might change the title, the wording, and how I do it. When you do something like that, you're posting all at once, and it makes it easier for you. But I don't know the science behind it in terms of, like, if it actually gets less attention. I feel like it does. But also, it doesn't come off as authentic. Because when I'm actually uploading this from my phone, or my teams upload it from their end very specifically through the platforms, it comes off like it's more authentic and real to the platform, and it's not some spammy repurpose.
No, I love that. That's exactly what I was afraid of. So I was like, ooh, it's going to go out and go the other way. Brian, you got a question?
No, I was agreeing. I was doing the same thing before. I used something that was reposting. I noticed you get less engagement than if you actually – so I type everything into Notepad that I'm going to. Then I upload the video, and then I copy and paste it, right? That way I have a copy of the Notepad separate. But you're right. Whenever I try to use a service, it got way less views. It
definitely, like, if you put more work into your content and be more creative with it, it's going to get more views. But also, I'll switch it. Like, I have certain videos I've posted probably a dozen times, the same video, during different times of the year or different timing, because sometimes a video I post in the morning, it might get 200 views. I might post the same video a month later in the morning or another time, and it gets 1,000 views. And so sometimes the algorithm, it just, depending on what's happening that day, what's being posted, and that's why content's king, because the more you feed the system, the more likely it's going to be seen by the right people. And I study this. I even study, like, who watches my videos, where they're watching, what they're doing, the actions, because I personally, as expert too, it's constantly changing. I want to know what's happening. I'm always asking my team. Like, I have a girl that's on my team that just graduated high school, and she knows TikTok and Reels better than I do. And so I'm asking her all the time, hey, like, what's happening now? What's trending with music? And so then I know about it, but it changes. Like, there's certain things that change every week. And so the only way to really know this stuff and be in the loop is by doing it yourself every single day almost, and then constantly staying on top of it. Because look at the transformation that's happened. I mean, Reels, for example, that came out not that long ago. Reels get a lot of attention. I mean, it went all to Reels just overnight. Like, oh, I guess it's not posted anymore. It's Reels. And then even stories. I noticed during certain times of the algorithms and the updates, my stories went way up for, like, a lot more viewers to being way less. And then certain times it changed. And then one little hack, by the way, this is a quick hack for everybody. You can add on Instagram close friends. So like you can put close friends. I actually do this for some people that I've never met in person, but they engage with all my content, influential like movie stars or actors or other people I really want to do business with. And they watch my stories religiously because here's what happens. For one, they like my content, but two, when you post your story to close friends list, that green circle, it goes to their left of their page when they're looking at content. So that stands out from everything else. It's like you're speaking to a smaller room. And so that's been my little hack to connect with influential people lately through Instagram. That's so powerful. And I don't know how long that's going to last, but right now it's a good time to utilize it.
Well, Brian and I will be jumping all over that. There's no doubt. So, no, that's perfect. I love that idea.
Hey, I got a question. I didn't hear you mention YouTube. You talked about Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Lit. Do you post to YouTube or no?
Yeah. So I was actually talking to my team today and I said, I want to repurpose everything to YouTube Shorts. I also I've never done paid advertising on YouTube before. I never really focused on YouTube, even though I have a content on there. This year, I'm going to start doing paid advertising on YouTube because for one, like Google owns YouTube. It helps with SEO. I mean, even if I don't have a lot of followers on YouTube, I post everything because it's easier to be searched when people are searching for you. Mm-hmm. But YouTube Shorts right now is something that is getting attention. It's basically looking as if it's a competitor of TikTok or Instagram. You look at what TikTok is doing, everybody else, it's become a huge competitor. So the other platforms are trying to find their own unique way to compete on their platforms.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. They're tweaking to try to pull the market share back. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Hey, different question for you. You mentioned hashtags that you use different ones on different platforms. What's kind of the reason or logic that you do that?
So this has mainly been just by watching the results and views on when doing posting. So like Instagram, there's really no famous number I do. I know they say that there's between 12 and this or 8 and whatever it is.
Right.
For me, sometimes I might do 10, sometimes I might be doing 3, but I know Instagram hashtags work good. There's specific hashtags I do use, and I've actually used this before to sell sponsorships for events where I have a custom hashtag and I'll put it on a sponsorship packet and say, hey, our hashtag, there's a service out there, I can't think of it right now, where you can actually see how many people viewed that hashtag. But it's very unique. Hey, follow my hashtag, or I'll do hashtag Brandon T. Adams. That's unique to me. So that's one side of it. LinkedIn, I found that the more hashtags, it's actually got me more views. Facebook, I put a couple hashtags here and there. So I don't know the real science behind, hey, how many hashtags you should use or not. I just know based on seeing the results from the content put out there and what's working.
Got it. Thanks.
And I love the fact that you included LinkedIn, right? Because if you look, your competition isn't on LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn is begging for creators right now. Mm-hmm. And it's like we need somebody to please put some stuff out. And for me, I just have to find time to do
huge.
It. Yeah.
LinkedIn, I've been saying this for 18 months now, and I'm saying it even more now. LinkedIn is a gold mine. And not only it has people with money and high professionals on there, but LinkedIn, if you have the ability to invest time in creating content, put it on LinkedIn, you're going to be rewarded. It's like the beginning times of people doing more video content, even streaming. I do StreamYard. We do every single week long form content that goes to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube live, and it gets attention. It shows as if it's live. So I'm multi-purposing longer form content, which is 10 minutes to 30 minutes long on those platforms, because again, it's getting attention. People are watching it. Then they're checking out your other videos. But LinkedIn right now is huge. If you aren't creating content on LinkedIn, you're losing out on huge profitability for your business and getting leads at literally no cost. I mean, I don't spend any money on LinkedIn.
No, that's perfect. And I hope everybody just listened to that, because if you look, Brian and I both went, oh, yeah, that needs to be the focus. So everybody else that's out there, again, I like you said it because I always do. Most people on LinkedIn have money. They've got pretty decent jobs, right? They're the ones that you want to hit to say, hey, let's get out there and actually put our content in front of them. Where Instagram, I don't know who's out there on Instagram. Okay, when you look and say, okay, Facebook, I will say Facebook monetarily, users have more money. So the 3 you're hitting, because TikTok still hasn't got to that point of what's the average user, right? What's their net worth? And so since they're not there yet, yeah.
Here's the thing. Some people say like TikTok, it's a younger user base. But if you actually look at the data, there's a lot of people that are older demographic that spends money on there. And I'm all about acquiring digital footprint early on and acquiring my real estate. I always get all the handles that I can for my social media handles, and I'm putting at least a profile and video content on there. So as it grows organically, I at least have my claim on that platform. Because you look at like Instagram early on, Instagram was photos. Now it's all video. And so the content that you have and you're building now, it's exponentially going to grow in the time to come as more internet devices get connected, more things get connected to the world. I mean, there's content I posted 7, 8, 9 years ago that people are watching now and they're reaching out and wanting to work with us. Like there's interviews I've done on video, YouTube channels through podcasts. I remember I went on Grant Cardone's show like 7 years ago, and I still get deals from that episode that published to YouTube because it lives on the internet. It's there, and you never know when somebody's going to search and a keyword pops up that directs them to your interview.
That's amazing. I love it. Fantastic. All right, so we're creeping up at 40 minutes. It went like that, Brandon. Thank you for that. We're like, there's no way. I keep looking down going, no, it's not. No, it's not. Right? And one of the tricks I always tell people is that if I keep the pen in my hand, I actually seem smarter to most people. But what I also do is that every time I go to take a note, instead of keeping my hand down here to go right, because then you just see my head drop, I always take my pen across so that everybody knows Joe went to go take a note. He's just not going to go look at his phone. My phone's over there. But it's one of those things. I'm like, I just want everybody to know I'm writing down notes. Yes.
I think you should keep it in your mouth like this. And then go, then right.
Oh, yes. And then come back. Yes. So remember, create your videos about who you are, right? What you do and the value you bring to the world. That's the part I wrote down. What's the value that you provide to people to get out there? I would recommend go crazy on LinkedIn, the way you see it. 30 to 60-second videos with the call to action. And I will tell you, I see a lot of people put videos out, Brandon, with no call to action at the end, which is as easy as, subscribe, share, right? Or reach out to me, follow me, do something along those lines. Yes, I was picking on you, Brian.
Yeah.
So, but to go in, but no, I thank you so much for coming in and sharing with us. I would still recommend everybody go check out BrandonTAdams.com. Get on there. I'm on the email list. I suggest you go too, because if somebody's already been down to the bottom, back up again, and is rocking it, why not learn from them so you don't have to do it too? Okay. And he's out there sending you stuff to say, here, everybody, this is what you need to focus on. And I would recommend you learn from the people that have demonstrated it, not to do that. Oh, wow. Bob got into it. Look, way to go, Brandon.
Bob, what's up, Bob? I miss him. Shout out to Bob.
Yes.
Wait, before we go, Joe, I got to know, he left the open loop on lit. He said he's going to come back.
Yes, he did. He did. He said blockchain. That's allowed. And then when he said that, I was like, okay, he just spoke a different language. I don't know. Yeah.
I will say this. Lit is a new platform that is growing really fast. Like it's only at like 330,000 users right now, but every single day it's growing and they haven't done any marketing yet. I was just on with the founder of the company today, and think of if Instagram and TikTok had a baby, it would be Lit. And I think it's more powerful. I also love the fact that you can earn tokens, which will be worth money. You can earn tokens while doing it. But again, the part I love about it is it's early. If you get in now, you can organically think about people that jump on platforms early and they grow their following fast. That's the part that's exciting for me. So Lit, I'm at Brendan T. Adams, definitely a platform. I guarantee you in 2023, it's going to be a rising star.
Is that lit.it, the website? Is that the right one?
That is. I'll even put a link here. You guys can connect with me at Brandon T. Adams. You guys gonna gain a creative profile today?
We're gonna be like, yes, look, we're here.
I'm time to get lit.
Yes, exactly. We're so gonna get into that. We're
That's
just gonna be like,
the part
are
that I
you lit?
love. It's
Are
like
you lit?
it's lit. Like, get lit, right?
So perfect. Well, again, thank you so much, Brian. Brian, anything else from you?
No, it's nice meeting you at Secret Knock. I enjoyed listening to you talk there. Are you going to be at there this year?
It's a secret.
I think
It's a
so.
secret.
It's a secret, but I I got to talk to Greg Reed. I'm sure I might secretly show up.
That would be good. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. My VIPs, thanks for joining us on screen. Everybody else, Patricia summed it up very well. This was priceless.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Thank you,
appreciate
Patricia.
you. We appreciate you, Brandon. And everybody else, go out and sell something. Thanks, everybody.